As work from home options have become the new normal, companies globally have started to invest in remote surveillance softwares which can monitor the browsing and even take screenshots of employees' computer screens. Now, this is spying of the employees by the companies. How far is this acceptable? How far is this okay? A recent LinkedIn news picked up this post, and it was an interesting conversations and opinions shared by people on LinkedIn. Let's have a look at them. Would you be happy for your employer to monitor your work? A survey indicates almost 63% of them are saying no, it's a privacy violation. Let's look at some of the comments given by people on whether it's okay for your companies or bosses to spy. Well, I believe, this is my personal opinion, that trust is always a two-way street. So if either of them are not true to the words or commitment, trust will always be broken, leading to these kind of practices which the companies fall into to start monitoring, surveilling the employees' computer screens. Some of the other reasons are some reason that it makes sense, okay, to check on racism, politics, partial treatment based on gender, caste, creed, and others to avoid company data being leaked to competitors or even consumers to prevent visiting unintended sites and thus prevent phishing of data breaches. I don't think this is much of the surveillance part. How far the employer can go. If the employer is not ready to trust their employees and if the employees aren't true to the work, how long can the relationship last? I think this is the same thing which I have also expressed my opinion as. So it's basically a trust which is important here, and that goes both ways, not just the employer but employees as well. Another comment says trust, empowerment, and delegation are the important part of the work culture. The proper organization structure helps to build the motivation guidelines and building the right culture. The roles and responsibilities support the organization structure to maintain good ethics and best practice in the organization. Well, that's good. Um, if the idea is to benefit employees, it's good. If it's to evaluate employees, it's potentially dangerous, and it's to penalize them, it's probably a bad idea. Remote working is here to stay, and hence monitoring tool will sooner or later be part of the work environment. Probably true. If not today, tomorrow, if when work from home is going to be the way how people are going to work in companies, probably surveillance would be a part of the way how employees would work. But it also depends as to what extent the employees are being monitored. That's the question, and that's the key over here to be answered. Such measures were already being implemented on the system used in offices to some extent. Due to remote working, monitoring employees' activities is proving to be a challenge, especially in cases where employees are using the personal systems. In a business where data security is paramount, such measures are completely justified. The use of such remote surveillance software must be adopted, looking at how it would affect the overall business if not used. Someone saying, yeah, surveillance software should be used. There's a story about honeybee ant and cockroaches. The ant works for honeybee. Honeybee hires a cockroach to supervise the ant to improvise productivity. The cockroach asks the ant to give a monthly report about the work done. Yeah, this story I think most of us know about it. Um, there is no binary answer to this. Work from home going forward should benefit that employees earn. Surveillance means I don't trust you. Why on earth does anybody want the God-given eyes glued to the man-made monitor 10 hours a day? Do we do that if we are working from office? No, if one has their diligence in hiring individuals with maturity, integrating what is more important is replicating the physical environment, the virtual workspace. Oh, absolutely true. Very nice. Saying on mature adults at workplace shows immaturity and insecurity on part of the employer more than anything else. If companies find proper channels to encourage creativity of employees at workplace based on employees' capabilities and preference, people would gladly be productive and help. That's the innate nature of humans to help be productive and creative. When those are not encouraged, laziness and disinterest sets in which can cause wasteful time spending rather than sending cybersecurity threats. Okay, understood. Monitoring of work of an employee by an employer is perfectly fine, but you need to really define monitoring of work. Exactly, this is what I said. So, surveillance can be the way how we work tomorrow, but there should really be a line as to what is that you're going to monitor. Some of the smaller labs and unfortunately bigger labs too have started using CCTV and other monitoring devices only to check with whom the employee is talking to, when and how much time they are spending in loo, when and with whom they are going for tea and lunch breaks, etc. I mean, this is too much. This is absolutely not acceptable for an employee to monitor the time spent in loo or to whom you're going to speak, going for lunch and tea breaks. That's a waste of an employee's time. You might go to jail for spying employees in some countries. Okay, I didn't know about this. Uh, Disgusting. This hype on monitoring work with remote surveillance software is disgusting and worst trend a company can set. Culturally, what you're telling your employees you don't trust, you want to eavesdrop. No wonder this voice recording of phone calls and sharing them to code what was discussed and even use it as what is the other person had to tell is becoming a way of feedback. Well, this is I'm seeing both more from an employee side in terms of their discussions with the HR, and that's definitely what is being brought out here. I think it's a part of trust from either ways. Wow, just the thought is quite overwhelming if you think of it from the employee perspective. Imagine every second your online activity being watched while you are at work. Imagine having to work about every move being questioned. Imagine every break during work hours need to be explained. I mean, I wouldn't definitely be a part of such a company where every aspect of it is being questioned. I think it's going to be more on a task oriented basis. I think if I'm going to complete my task within a few allotted hours and within that time I'm completing it, I think the rest of the time I could use it to complete another task or probably take a break. So I cannot be questioned on minute to minute basis. I think it needs to be more on a task oriented thing. Well, that's some of the feedbacks that I've kind of noted here. You can probably, I'm just scrolling down a few of them slowly. Probably you could pause the video and have a look at or read one of them which interests you. So, what are your thoughts? What do you think about companies eavesdropping, company using these remote surveillance softwares? Do mention in the comment section below. And thank you for watching.